Hey guys, this is Abdullah, and welcome to a video where I'll be doing a hero guide on the command droid. Wait, no, it's not a hero. It's a reinforcement. Ah, already messed up. It's fine though. But the commander droid isn't as strong as the arc troopers, so you might need some more skill to be able to use it effectively. And all the professional players can probably do well with it, and maybe even better with the arc trooper. But even I sometimes struggle with the commander droid, but I still know how to use him pretty well. I think I do at least. But the Commando Droid is still not terrible, but I still think the Wookiee Warrior is better than the Commander Droid. But that makes it the third best reinforcement. And the Commando Droid is pretty cool because the Clone Wars only. I don't think it was in Revenge of the Sith or Attack of the Clones. And it really has a unique playstyle, different from every other class. The Archtrooper feels the same, but the Commander Droid is just something different. I'll explain that later in the video. But without further ado, let's begin. Let's move on to the movement and capabilities. So the VX Commando Droid has 350 health with a slow firing weapon and deals kind of in the middle of the road for amount of damage. And it's a pretty I don't really like the blaster. I think it's kind of mediocre. But that they have the blaster, and then it has 350 health, which is kind of in the middle of the road for regular heroes. And it can have 2 or 3 dodges. I say 2 or 3 because it's a star card, which can increase the dodges. So it's kind of like Dooku that way, where they can have 3 dodges. But the dodges are more helpful than you think, in some cases. So the Commando Droid's first ability is Smokescreen. So this is kind of like Lando's Smokescreen, but you can't throw it, which is kind of sad. But it doesn't really affect it. And you just have to place it down right in front of you. It's kind of okay. It's not that great by itself, but if you mix it with a thermal vision and maybe the vibro sword, it could be a really helpful ability. So I recommend not using this on its own, but using it with a vibro sword or more importantly the thermal vision. I'm going to talk about them right now. So next is the thermal vision. So what thermal vision does is it just reveals enemies' locations, and since there's only since it has a large radius, then it's a pretty good ability. It's kind of like raise insight, but it's not showing you the location for everyone on the enemy team or on your team. But it's a really helpful ability. And third is the vibro sword. So the vibro sword is kind of like the one that the Commando Droid had in the Clone Wars, where he just swings it at enemies and deals damage. And he swings it faster than Captain Phasma's staff strikes, or maybe I think it's the same speed. And it's a really great ability for knocking people over because you can surprise attack someone and they won't be ready. And because of the annoying stun locks, you get stun locked when you get hit by it on the first hit. And those are the Commando Droid's abilities. And the Commando Droid seems like a knight kind of map because it's completely black. And it seems like some sort of spy. Kind of like in the Clone Wars, if you remember the episode where they're on the moon planet. I know I keep on referencing the Clone Wars a lot because that's where the Commando Droids come from. So did the ARC Troopers, but the Commando Droids are more from the Clone Wars than the ARC Troopers. Let's move on to the star cards. If you're curious on why it sounds the same, it's because it's the exact same clip, but just for the Commando Droid, since it's the exact same star cards. First is Desperation. So this just reduces the recharge time on your abilities when you're taking damage. I really don't think this is that helpful, but I guess you can use it. But I can be helpful if you know how to like back off and not overpress. But I overpress, so a lot of times, as you can tell if you watch my streams. So I'm not gonna use this card. But if you're one of those defensive players, then this is a card for you. Next is Evasion, and I think this is one of the best cards in the game, and only a reinforcement has it. So what it does is it gives you an extra combat roll, and it reduces the time it takes per combat roll. So Sammy Boy told me this trick that if you use your Vibro Sword and dodge at the right time, since they both recharge really fast with a Commando Droid, you could just go really fast, even faster than usual, and can outrun heroes with it. That's pretty crazy. But the combat rolling could really help you if you're trying to dodge against Swingy Boy like Darth Maul or General Grievous, or Count Dooku. This is a really recommended star card. I'd have to say, if you're not going to use any of them, then use this one. Even though you have to use one if you're going to use 3-star cards. Third is Interrogation. So just reveals the enemy's location for a larger radius. I don't think it's really needed because the radius is still big enough. I mean, you don't need to reveal the entire map because you don't need to see everyone on the map, but you do need to see the people around you. And as long as you can see that, then it's fine. So I guess this card's fine if you want to use it to really see anything. And maybe to help your teammates because they can see it a tiny bit if you really try. But it's not that great compared to the other one. But it's still a fine star card. Here's another really good star card. This is Acquisition. So, if you take damage, then the enemy that attacks you has their location revealed. I'm not sure if this works with, especially as the Stealth Star card. I have to check that, and I'll probably tell you the answer when I do the Commando droid hero guide. So, I'm going to check it out in arcade in a second. But if it does, that would really outdo the stealth ability for the specialist. So then you can't be sniped without knowing where they come from. And it's really good for if you want to try and if you damage an enemy but you can't find them, you can just shoot at that specific enemy because they'll be marked. And I really think this is a helpful star card. And fifth is Stalker. I mean, this card is really debatable if you want to have it or not, but I use it just because I kind of need it. It's just a health on kill star card. You regain 50 health instead of 100 for killing infantry, and I think it's the same for heroes. No different stats. So, I've talked about the health card in practically every single video I've done. Yeah, I have. I just double checking. Every single guide I've done, I've done the health card, so I'm tired of explaining it. In conclusion, the Commander droid is slightly weaker than the Arc Trooper, and I think the Wookiee Warrior too. I'm probably going to do a hero guide on either Finn or Captain Phasma. I'll give you another eye card. It's going to be at the beginning so that more people can see it. And you can check it out right now by just pressing the I button on the video. But the Commando droid isn't as good as the Wookiee Warrior, but it's still pretty effective. I mean, I feel like it's maybe the second best anti... Okay, actually the third best anti-hero going. But it's the best, like, if you're a stealth kind of guy. Because Commando droids are meant for stealth, even in the Clone Wars. I gotta stop referencing the Clone Wars. I referenced it a lot. But the Commando droid is great, even though the Arc Trooper is slightly better. And I'm gonna have a stream, I'm pretty sure, on Friday at 3:30 Pacific time. And the Commando droid is still pretty great. But the only problem with the Commando droid for me is its weapon not dealing. Sorry, it's not the damage which is wrong. It's just that it doesn't fire at a fast enough rate. It's kind of like Finn's blaster, but makes a different sound. But it needs to fire faster in order for it to be more effective. Speaking of which, Finn and Captain Phasma are gonna have a buff, and every other blaster here with 150 health is getting buffed too. I'm thinking that all the stuff in the mate update will be great. Nothing will be terrible, which I'm glad about. Let me talk about it real quick because I'm probably going to have this up before the May update, which is tomorrow if I get it on time. And you can see me on Friday, Pacific time. Unless you're in Australian time, which it will be Saturday. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope I see you in the next one. Which will be your choice. Captain Phasma Hero Guide or Finn Hero Guide. See ya.